Welcome to another edition of Brooklyn versus Everybody. On this episode, we're talking about free agent frenzy. I'm your host, Dr. Philly Kaggs. Tonight's challenges are Rich Hahn,
Crisscross, Rick Ross, I'm the fucking boss. You're going down.
and Chris Cross Lazaro.
Rich Hahn, shake your bonbon, you're one and done.
So please like, share, and subscribe to the Bridgeside Network, and may the best argument win. Welcome to another edition of Brooklyn versus Everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Philly Kaggs. To my left of the challenge is Chris Cross Lazaro and Rich Hahn with that look of disgust on his face. I don't know where that came from. But we're here on Brooklyn versus, where I'm your judge. We're debating topics. We're debating free agency today. And I'm going to give these guys 3 topics. The best argument gets 10 points. After that, we go to our challenge, the almighty challenge, with 20 points. And we see who wins. So, we're talking free agency. We're breaking it down to 3 topics. We're going the first topic. The big news about free agency has been the Brooklyn Nets just outshining all NBA teams, especially their crosstown rival, the New York Knicks, and getting Durant and Kyrie Irving. So, Chris, you're going to start it off. Has Brooklyn become New York's team now? Your 30 seconds starts now.
It absolutely is Brooklyn's team. I mean, the Knicks can't get out of their own way, as everybody knows. And the Nets, it's from the culture on down, from James Dolan to, the Knicks from the culture on down, from James Dolan. People think that Brooklyn has this really cool vibe about it, Rock Nation. So Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are going to attract another amazing free agent. And the Nets are going to be one of the teams to reckon with in the East for years to come.
Wow. Okay. Rich. Yeah, the look of disgust has not left your face. Your 30 seconds starts now.
Chris, you're absolutely right. The Nets are Brooklyn's team, but Knicks are still New York's team. You know why? Because history. Nets are Jersey's team that moved to Brooklyn. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Sign LeBron, KD, whoever you want. They'll never be a New York team. You know why? Knicks have won a championship in New York. It's been a while back, but they're still a New York team. And yeah, the things recently happened, it's shameful. It's embarrassing, but that doesn't take away from the fact that they're still New York's team.
Okay. So, Rich, as a New Jerseyan, are you still sour that the Nets left to come to Brooklyn?
Growing up, I was a hockey fan, so I couldn't care less for the Nets. They could have, Brooklyn, take the Nets. So don't take my Devils.
Okay, good.
But take the Nets.
They're still. So I would have to say, you bring up the argument of the championship. That was a very, very long time ago.
Yeah, still a champion.
73. I know it's the only championship in New York that
Nets have won. No.
The Nets have not won any in New York. That's correct. But you don't think that so right now, you don't think they're New York's team. Do you think with sustained success, they can become New York's team if the Knicks continue to do what they've been doing?
I think the Nets are definitely a team that's going to be fighting for the playoffs next year. Maybe for the next 3 to 4 years. Maybe 5. But 10, that's a stretch, bro. That's a stretch. Because you know what? Nets is a business. Okay. They're always flip-flopping players.
I'm going to cut you off because you didn't answer my question. If they have a sustained amount of success, do you think they can... You just don't think they'll have a sustained amount of success?
If they do, yes. For the next 10 years, Nets are a consistent playoff contending team and keep attracting star players, and the Knicks continue to fall and cannot make a playoff run or even get, not even... Forget about winning the championship, but making a playoff run... Mm-hmm. Yes, Nets will eventually take over.
Answer my questions next time. I gotta be tough for you. Chris. So, do you think that these are gonna be successful signings for the Nets? Durant is coming off a injury, big injury. Kyrie didn't have the best stay in Boston. What do you think?
Well, this is the first place that Kyrie has actually chosen to go to, because he didn't choose to get drafted to the Cavs. Boston, he forced his way out of Cleveland. And Boston, so he chose, he's from New York, and he really wanted to play for the Nets. He's from the tri-state area, and he wanted to play for the Nets. So his mindset's going to be completely different. KD, top 3 player in the world. Everybody would argue top 5 player in the world before getting injured. Some would argue the best. Even though a lot of players like Kobe, Cousins haven't come back ridiculously strong after the Achilles injuries. KD is still very young. He's not a baby, but he's still very young. And you have that nucleus right there. You're going to attract another marquee free agent.
Right. I made my ruling. Rich, I'm sorry. The argument of that they won a championship in New York just really doesn't hold weight. The people who are the people who are fans of the Nets or the Knicks, they might not even remember these championships. We weren't around for these championships. This is 40, close to 50 years ago they won the championship. The only thing they hold back on is the fact that they play in the Garden in the history. And you know what? It doesn't even matter anymore.
The Nets are about to start stealing all the headlines. They're going to. They're going to be on the front page.
I think the Knicks are in danger. Chris, you're taking the 10 points here. All right.
Take those 10 points.
Take those.
Take another 40.
We're going to talk about the flip side of free agency. Those were great signings by the Nets, but there have been some really, 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 really bad signings in the history of sports and free agency. So we're going to talk about those horrible ones. Rich, what is the worst signing in free agent history? Your 30 seconds starts now. You got a lot to choose from.
There is a lot to choose from. And I know since we're on the topic of basketball, I'm going to go with Eddie Curry's 6 years, $60 million contract. I don't think I've ever seen Eddie Curry start a ball game. Matter of fact, his waistline was probably big as his contract. I've never, maybe take it easy on the Curry. This guy was absolute garbage. I can't believe he was a basketball player. I'm sorry, Eddie Curry, but you don't deserve to be on the court.
This is Rich Raw. This is Rich Raw Han. Something happened. He's been this look of disgust he's had on all day. He's just slinging arrows at everybody. Look at him. This is Rich 2.0. This is Thanos coming out. Chris, your 30 seconds starts now.
The second worst signing in history is Jason Bay for the New York Mets. The worst signing in history is Bobby Bonilla. The Mets are paying him until 2035, over $1 million a year. Well, July 1st every year is the payday for this guy. He wasn't even productive when he was on the team. He joined the Mets in the that era when they were coming off the Piazza years. They were supposed to be a very, up-and-coming team, and he was supposed to be one of the catalysts. He stunk. He caused problems. He was playing poker during the World Series.
You're done. Yeah. There we go. So, Chris, Bobby Bonilla. It's funny you bring that up because I was just talking about this a little bit before. So they owed him $6 million. They turned it around and wanted to pay him in interest for 30 years. Do you know what they did with that money, though?
What did they do with the money?
Because since they deferred the money, they were able to use that money that they owed him in 1999. Do you know what they were able to do with that money? You're saying that's why the contract's bad. They were able to sign Mike Hampton, and then Mike Hampton helped lead them to a World Series. Mm-hmm. So some could argue that it actually was beneficial. And the Mets do have a bad rap.
I could name you a worse signing than Bobby Bonilla on the Mets.
Oh, give me one.
Jonas Cespedes.
No.
Come on.
Wait.
Are you kidding?
He hasn't played in a while.
He says his new contract?
Jason Bay's worse, by the way.
No, but his new contract. Okay.
Yeah,
we made that amazing.
Yeah. No, there's a litany of them. What's his name's going to go for? Robinson Cano's going to go. Might go down in history for a bad one for the Mets.
But he was a
trade.
The point being with Bobby Bonilla is that
they got some good.
Also, the Bernie Madoff thing was the biggest problem. They were supposed to be paying him in profit, and the Bernie Madoff collapsed. Mets collapsed with it. The Mets still haven't recovered from it. It seems like they keep making the wrong moves. Rich again, the 10 points here. I think it's a little bit misstep. Eddie Curry. I like the raw Rich right there now, but Eddie Curry stinks. There are a lot of bad ones. Jerome James. He could have went to the well, the Knicks. Look how we both said the orange and blue, Knicks and Mets. But anyway, so now we're going to go to free agency in general. So the offseason for some sports is like still the on-season, so to speak, because there's so many great headlines when teams are in free agency. But which sport does free agency affect the most? Chris, your 30 seconds starts now.
It's got to be the NBA because the NBA is the sport where a player, one player or two players can really change the dynamic of a team. That's not the case in baseball or football. I mean, you could have two lights-out starting pitchers. Look at Noah Syndergaard and Jacob deGrom for the Mets. They haven't been able to do anything since the year they made the World Series, and that wasn't only because of them. Football, a quarterback's ridiculously important, but look, Aaron Rodgers can't win without a team around him. In basketball, you get two marquee free agents. Other free agents come. Look at the Heat 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Rich, your 30 seconds starts now.
I agree, Chris. NBA, free agency is the most important in the NBA because not only you need to sign key players that will change the dynamic of a team, but NBA has actually, I believe, has changed to a player-run league. Players decide where they want to go play and dictate where they want to play. unlike the NFL and Major League Baseball, they go, honestly, I feel like they still have, the team still control the players. But NBA, it's like LeBron wants to go to the Lakers. He went to the Lakers.
That's good. Well, you're right. It's not that the teams control the players. I don't like that terminology as much. No, but you're right. Usually the teams have more of a say because the contracts are, they're not as fluctuating, or the players don't. I feel like in other sports, the players don't communicate as much. In basketball, I feel like guys are talking a lot and saying, this is what we want to do. And then
they're all friends in the summer and off season.
I mean, look at baseball this past off season. Yankees, they might have signed Machado or Bryce Harper, but at the end of the day, team decided they were not the fit, and
both overrated.
Baseball free agency has definitely taken a hit compared to other sports,
but still biggest money.
I liked your arguments. You both picked teams. You were both correct. However, I did like the direction Rich went with his argument. I think Chris is right too. But Rich, you're right, and that has so much influence on free agency because players now are dictating. It's not even trades they're dictating. No. Look at Anthony Davis just forcing his way out of New Orleans when they didn't really do anything to him. Kemba Walker went to the Celtics when the Hornets could have offered him so much more money. So these guys are really shifting the landscape of the league. Rich,
it's a different market.
You're getting the 10 points here. So, Rich, you're walking into the challenge with a 20-10 lead here. Can he do it? This is Mortal Kombat. So, if you noticed, you got papers in front of you. Who wants the Sharpie? Who wants the magic Crayola marker? Okay, there we go.
Coin toss?
Okay, guys. What we're doing here is that we're talking about free agency. We're talking about, free agency. We're talking about big contracts. So, I've got a couple of contracts here. I'm going to give you the player. I'm going to give you the year. I want you to give me the total value in contract. So, Price is Right style. Cannot go over. Okay? You guys write it down. Use the whole paper. We'll bring it up. We'll show the camera. And we'll get it going. So, the first contract we got here is this man, he just lost in the finals. It's Mr. Steph Curry. He signed a contract in 2017. How much was that contract worth? You get 10 seconds. I didn't give you a time, but come on, guys. Remember, can't go over. We got 5 seconds left. I hear some writing. Make sure they're not cheating. Okay, we're good. All right. And let's bring them up. 120 million. 129,800,000. So, it is 201 million, guys. So just no, he wins.
Oh, what?
He wins. You went 120. He's over you, but not over the answer.
I was putting insurance in case it was 130 mil.
He's
wait, 200?
201 million. 5 years.
5 years. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking around like 4 or 5 year deal.
Gets paid 40 million a year.
Damn, 40 mil?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot of cap space, bro.
Yeah. So. Rich obviously didn't know the rules of the game because he thought he won that one.
But I knew I lost.
Or he can't do math.
Okay.
Or he can't do math.
That's what Stephen James said to me one time, so I had to.
All right. So
hate that kid.
The next contract, Next contract is in 2008. One of the best hockey players of all time, Alexander Ovechkin, signed a contract. How much was that contract worth? Another 10 seconds. Look at Rich. Rich went right to the paper. Chris just like, oh my God, you went hockey? How could you go hockey on me? And here we go. All right, the answers are in. Let's flip them up. We got 80 million, 109 million. The answer is 13 years, $124 million. Oh. Chris takes it again. Rich, these guys are richer than you think, okay? They're not poor. They're making some dough, baby.
If I knew it was 13 years, I would not have put that.
They're making some money, okay?
I would have put a lot more.
So that one's
13 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Rich, you got it.
Yeah,
Rich, you really need to step up your game here because he can sweep you right now.
I know.
It's 5. Remember, I'm giving you 5 here. Okay. So, Mike Trout. This is very recent news. Mike Trout just signed a contract extension. How much was that contract extension worth? It is the biggest contract in North American history. Running out of time here. Okay, here we go. Let's light it up. Let's show it up. We got 300 mil from Rich. We got 215 mil from you guys. You guys are going to be stunned by the answer because I can't believe you get first or you didn't know it. It was a 12-year, $430 million contract. That's double what you got. Exactly double what you have.
400.
$300 million. Guys,
no wonder he stayed in.
These guys have a lot of money, okay?
All right.
Please stop shorting them. All right.
We're trying to not go over.
I know.
We're 100 million short.
You're worried about you went half. 215. That's exactly half. That's pretty impressive.
That's true.
All right. So we got Rich staying alive, got his 1 point. Chris is leading 2-1. This is a best of 5. So we got 2 more left. We got this contract is the highest contract in the NBA for a 1-year contract. It was by the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan, in 1998. He signed a 1-year contract. How much was that contract worth? His last year with the Bulls. The pen has not hit the paper. These guys are stumped. They don't know what's happening. I gave them some hints. I told them that this was the highest contract ever for 1 year. They don't know what's happening. So, okay, let's bring them up. We got $3 million. That's one of the worst guesses I've ever seen in my life.
He probably won though, because I probably went over.
I just said that Curry makes $40 million a year and he picked 30. Chris put $57 million. And Rich is so lucky that Chris went over
$57 million.
Okay, so Michael Jordan signed a contract for 1 year, $33 million. $33 million. That was his last year. The year before, he did 1 year, $30 million. He's only going on a 1 year contract.
Did he even get paid when he was in the Wizards?
No.
Oh, okay.
He gave the money. He gave the money to actually gave the money to charity because it was right after 9/11. So somehow your $3 million vote wins. I just don't know what's going on. So $57 million. I got to think that you threw it, but whatever. So we come down to the tiebreaker. It's 2-2. This could be one of the worst contracts in the history of professional sports that we're about to go. So, how well do you guys know Baltimore Orioles baseball? Because in 2016, the Orioles signed Chris Davis. I'm going to give you the years to a 7-year deal. He has been miserable since then, where he actually had a negative WAR. Negative WAR. That means he was worth losses to the team. How much is his contract worth? Wow, this is impressive here. Flip it up. Flip it up. This is great tiebreaker right here. $149,999,000. $150 million. Oh, I lost! And the answer is, you have to lose. It's $161 million.
Oh, no, wait.
Rich comes back. Yeah. He wins. Yeah. He was down 2 hours.
Suck it, Chris. I lost by $1.
I lost by $1. I don't believe it. What an ending. This goes with like the Knicks ending. We stepped back. Rich stepped back. And it was good at the buzzer. Rich that's a commanding 40-10 win. He needed that one.
I needed it.
This is just pure excitement coming from Rich. Maybe he won't be so wrong next time. Or maybe he's gonna play with this chip on his shoulder because it showed him.
I think I gotta come out fighting. Just come out
fighting.
Yeah.
That was the greatest comeback in sports history I've ever seen. When we talk about Brooklyn versus, that's the answer to the debate. Rich Hahn over Chris Lazaro. That's a great edition of Brooklyn versus. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe to Bridgeside Network. And remember, the best argument always wins.
Tonight on Brooklyn vs. Rich Hahn got on the board with a win over Chris Cross, 40-10. Here are the rest of the season standings.